hmm they have what's known as truck farming.
Yes.
The raising of vegetables or fruit or both.
Yeah.
Truck farmers do not usually need as much land for growing vegetables as they would for grain crops.
hmm
And truck farms often are simply large gardens. Now, the term truck farm and truck garden means the same thing. They come from the old use of the word truck, which meant to exchange or barter goods. Oh. People speak of vegetables raised for sale as garden truck. Oh, you know, just thinking about it, these little electric generators that you'd say I'm crazy,
Yeah.
they're made of recycled used cars.
Yes.
The outside of them, they're metal and. I know that you're concerned about getting electrocuted because of the high temperature salt water that I use in the smeltering process.
Yes.
And then the copper inside of it, there's a shaft that goes through them that happens to be one in front of the Pontonic, and then there's one behind the Pontonic.
Yes.
Maybe four-wheel drive, there's one in the rear shaft.
Yes.
And the other side, maybe there, well, you could put two there, and you could put two in the front drive and two in the rear drive.
Yes.
And then you could put two either on the outside of the tires or the inside, or maybe both.
Yes.
Now, an electric generator that's spinning at what RPMs at approximately 60 miles per hour?
Yes.
Now, a lot of cars, they have what's called repetition per minutes or the resolution, or is it, it's RPM.
Yes.
It's an acronym for those that are into trucks. I dislike fluids.
Yes.
Let's say you're a truck farmer.
Yeah.
You're out there in the field.
hmm
You got an oil leak.
Yeah.
Radiator's leaking. It's hot outside.
Yeah.
Brake fluid's leaking.
Yeah.
Some reason the gas tank is leaking.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be nice that any time you're ecologically sensitive to the actual Earth itself, you had a vehicle that has no fluids in it,
Yes.
except for the transmission, known as the Pontonic. See, it's the movement of the fluid that I redesigned, and for those that had designed the fluid drive in the 1950s,
Yeah.
well, you'd have a difficult time suing me for something that I did read about in Life magazine in 1950. I didn't read the Life magazine. It was a Life magazine from 1950. Now, for those 18 wheelers that have a truck,
Yes.
you're going up and down the road all day long,
Yeah.
stopping to get diesel at approximately $5 a gallon,
Yes.
going 5 miles a gallon in your semi. It just takes a small amount of electricity, an electric motor,
Yes.
that does turn the Pontonic.
Yes.
That the fluid causes the fluid drive to move.
Yes.
That turns the shafts.
Yes.
That turns the rear axle and the front axle.
Yes.
That you do have the four-wheel drive availability.
Yeah.
Now, for the rest of the tires that you have on your 18 wheeler there,
Yes.
you got an axle on each one of those.
Yes. It does.
I know you'd say that there'd be too much resistance to the turning of the actual shaft of each of the drive axles of each of the two tires that you have in an 18. There's nine different shafts. Oh, you have two tires on each side.
Yes.
Takes some. You know, I think yes. Since I dislike parts,
Yeah.
I could probably insulate it using recycled garbage.
Yes.
Kind of like a half inch,
Yes.
molded, 2,500 degrees, high density recycled garbage around each one of the steam generators. Oh, is it each one of the generators?
Yes.
And then there's this little wire
Yes.
that goes to a battery that is not lithium ion. It's a slow charging, fast discharging battery
Yes.
that is designed to be charged because of the amount of electricity that each of those little electric motors make.
Yes.
Now you say it's not possible.
Yes.
The vehicle wouldn't go. The semi truck wouldn't go down the. That you do like buying all that diesel? Pooch. My thought is that at any time that you don't have to spend money for any of the fluids in your individual vehicle, even the hybrids,
Yes.
the lithium ion,
Yes.
the electric cars that you charge up,
Yes.
a lot of them,
Yes. 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 Yes.
they might have brake fluid, or did you read? Well, what if you had no fluids?
Yes.
No unnecessary parts,
Yes.
and you had a luxury interior. As much as you say that it takes a lot of electricity to run these MP3 players,
Yes.
maybe a DVD player, you could even have like a little computer in the car that would tell you where you're at. Like,